insanely quiet. Like you could hear a pin drop. It was ridiculous. And I wanted a pair of headphones that I could chuck in and didn't leak sound, so that my colleagues couldn't listen to my impeccable music taste and moan about it and all that other stuff. So I picked up these. I picked up these because somebody I speak to on Skype quite a bit, Evanux on Twitter, had got a pair and he recommended them. And I was doing like a little bit of research. I couldn't really find out very much about how much sound they actually leak. And they just don't leak sound. At low to medium volumes, they don't leak sound. At high volumes, they leak a little bit, but if you're on a train or if you're in a reasonably busy office environment with people talking, nobody's going to really notice. And they're insanely good for that. In terms of their actual sound quality, the sound quality is insanely good. These cost 17 quid, but to be honest, the sound quality they produce, I'd quite happily pay about 50 quid for them. The highs and the highs and the mids, kind of a little bit flat. They kind of tail off towards the end, but they're really good. I mean, they give my HD 595s a run for their money. They give my Bose speakers a run for their money. They are insanely good, especially for 17 quid. I mean, for 17 quid, just go out and buy them. Seriously, they're that great. The downsides to them are that they're not very comfortable. The sort of the pads around the ears don't really actually rest on your head, especially for me. I've got quite big ears, and my ears rest inside the cups, which it's obviously what they're supposed to do. But because the foam padding around the outside isn't thick enough, it doesn't actually rest on my head. They kind of rest on my ears, which kind of hurts. Kind of after about half an hour, I have to take a break because it kind of it makes my ears hot. It's not very comfortable, and so the headband at the top is really good. You can tell they actually do cost 17 quid though. The actual build quality is a little bit questionable. Things like the wires aren't that thick. Talking about the wire is insanely long, which is still going 3 meters in length, which is good and bad. It's good if the audio source is miles away. I do like long cables if the audio source is miles away, but it's bad because it increases noise. So obviously, the longer the cable, the more copper's actually got access to the outside world, which is going to create more noise. Also, when you're sitting down, and if you're at your desk and the audio source is quite close, you're going to get caught up and things like that. You're going to get caught in the casters of your chair. And if you're on the train, which I take this on the train quite a bit, it's kind of you've got this massive wire that you're not too sure what to do with. In actual fact, these are insanely good for the train. I use these on the train all the time. They're more comfortable than using in-ear headphones because I tend to find that in-ear headphones give me all sorts of trouble because they're just not that comfortable. After quite a while, they just don't feel really great. And I've got some really great in-ear earphones, and they're brilliant. They're just not that comfortable after extended periods, and so that's why I use these. And say they're easy to put on and off as well, which is great. I think that's pretty much it. They're really great headphones across the board. The highs and the mids, insanely good. A little bit flat, but really good for a pair of headphones that cost 17 quid. They should cost a darn sight more. The bass is insanely good. I'll put a link in the description below of the playlist I always use to test all my audio gear. It's a kind of quite comprehensive list of songs that I use. Really bassy stuff, some like sort of acoustic kind of stuff in there as well, so really great stuff. So I'll put that in the link in the description below if you want to know what I actually use to test headphones and everything else. But apart from that, I shall catch you in a later video.
For free here with a review of the Sennheiser HD 201 headphones. Now I've had these for about a year now, and just like to make a quick review of them because they are absolutely fantastic. I'll give you a quick show around. As you can see here, they've got the extendable ear cups with a little bit of swivel in, which should hopefully prevent them breaking if they're twisted. Got this very nice, soft headrest, which is really comfortable. And then they sort of sit on your ears rather than completely enclosing them, for me at least. Now the key feature about these is their price. These go for, in the UK, £17 on Amazon, or if you're in the US, that's $20 on Amazon. So these are ridiculously cheap for a pair of headphones. Fantastic, I can say, for just general everyday use, just listening to your iPod. For example, I mean, if you're obviously doing studio music, you're going to need a better pair of headphones, but I would seriously recommend checking these out before you invest in a more expensive pair. Just for a go. The sound quality itself is very good. It's got decent bass for these headphones. I mean, it's obviously not the best, but it's pretty good. Then the only negative I can say about these headphones is the length of the wire for the audio jack. It's 3 meters long. It is very long. So you've got quite a lot of wire to tuck into your pocket away. But apart from that, I'd highly recommend these headphones. I'm going to give them the editor's choice, and even the Gold Award because of their supreme value. Really, they're absolutely great. Can recommend them to anyone. That's been PC for free.
So let's see what we got in here. So once I'm done the review, once I'm done the unboxing, I'll get straight into the review. Nothing else in the box. Let's put that aside. From my understanding, it comes with a 2-year global warranty, which is nice. Usually manufacturers only give a 1-year manufacturer's warranty. Oddly enough, there is no warranty pamphlet of any kind. That's kind of strange. I guess as long as I keep the receipt, I could mail Sennheiser and say I need a replacement under the warranty, something like that. Okay, so I know this is the I think the 6.5 millimeter headphone jack adapter, which goes to here because you have the regular 3.5 millimeter headphone jack, and of course you put the 6.5 millimeter on, like so. That's it, set. So you can practically plug it into almost any audio device. I'm going to be mainly using it for my tablet and computer. And let's start with the review. Now before starting the review, there's one thing I want to mention. I'm not going to be taking my microphone up to the headphones while they're playing some sort of audio clip so you guys can hear the audio quality from the headphones. It doesn't make much sense, even though a lot of people requested headphone review videos, because the audio that's being output from this video is going to be playing through your smartphone, tablet, computer, or whatever. Your speaker quality will differentiate the sound quality being output from the headphones, so there's no way for me to actually demonstrate the quality of the headphone audio. Now when it comes to general construction and design, the headphones themselves are pretty darn decent and they'll withstand day-to-day usage, including a lot of drops, so you're good to go with these headphones. The actual earmuffs themselves that go over the ear are adjustable in length, up and down. And of course, the actual earmuffs themselves can pivot and rotate up and down, left and right, in and out, any direction you would want. Pretty much no matter what size head or shape you have, these headphones are most likely going to fit you very comfortably. Two key components that make these headphones really comfortable to wear is the first is that you have this top padding on the top rim. So whether you have a lot of hair, a little bit of hair, or no hair at all, expect the top rim to not annoy you at all. As for the padding on the ear muffs themselves, they're extremely soft and well padded, very comfortable headphones. While using these headphones for about an hour minimum, even sometimes an hour and a half straight, I noticed that there's no discomfort for myself at all. Now, my ears don't tend to sweat when you're in these headphones. Some people might have that problem because it depends on your body type, how much temperature you're outputting, but for myself, my body type, I don't sweat at all in my ears when wearing these headphones. In fact, after wearing them for an hour, I find them to be extremely comfortable and they don't annoy me at all. And when it comes to general sound output, highs and mids will actually surprise you at how good they are. It's surprising considering that the price is so low of these headphones. Highs and mids will be amazing when you hear them. Bass is a little bit different story. They're not amazing, but they're not terrible. They're pretty much in the middle. You expect the bass output to be pretty decent. Now speaking generally about volume output itself, they get pretty loud. They're not the loudest headphones I've ever heard, but let's put it this way, they're more than loud enough that you'll ever need for your day-to-day use, especially when listening to music. They perform pretty darn good. Keep in mind these over-the-ear headphones aren't noise-cancelling headphones, but I would say they block about 15 to 20% of exterior noise. Having a 6.3mm adapter come out of the box, and of course the wire attachment itself is 3.5mm, is fantastic. It basically means you can plug it into almost any audio source available. Although speaking of the wire, it's a bit of a problem. You see, the wire itself is about 10 feet, or 3 meters if you want to say in meters. And that's very, very long. For some people that have to use public transportation, or like for myself, if you're on your desk, at your chair, it might get tangled up in your armrest. Now for people that are DJing or they have a home studio, this might actually be a great thing, having this long wire. However, I do wish there's some sort of option available in which halfway through the wire length, you could actually detach it if you wanted to make it shorter. Unfortunately, that's not the case, so it's a bit annoying. Okay, so I'm going to give these headphones an 8.5 out of a 10, and considering their price, which I mentioned is about $25 to $50 in Canada and America, they're fantastic. You should not be spending more than $30. I noticed that most stores have it on sale for $30, so try to look for it at that price range. Now, the headphones themselves, I find them to be awesome. The biggest problem I have with them is how long the cord is. It's about 10 feet, 3 meters, depending on which type of measurement you use. And I find that to be way too long, especially on my desk. It gets caught up in my armrest of my chair. If you take public transportation, that could also be a big annoyance. What I wish they had done was about halfway through the cord, I wish you could actually detach it, just take it off, and reattach it whenever you feel like. I think that would have been a much better option. Some people won't mind, especially if you work in a studio, but that might be a problem for some people, I have to mention. Now, as for the audio itself, mids and high are fantastic. Bass is not the greatest, like $300 headphones.